Hello and welcome to the Luke Winstall Show. Right now, it's national recruiting season. Over the summer, top prospects are touring around the country, going to different schools that are trying to offer them and pull them in future recruiting classes. First up, my conversation with Bobby Moore. Bobby's a local product, went to McEachern High School where he played basketball, but over the past couple of months has decided he's going to switch to play football, is getting some big looks from Power 5 schools that love his size, they love his projectability. Right now, he's going to go to a prep school, work on developing his game, and then likely be a major recruit. In the class of 22, he'll be able to enroll early. Bobby, thank you for joining me on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How's it going?
Really good. Excited to be talking with you. We met back in May at the Hot List Camp, and your story is one that intrigued me. I wanted to have you on the show, so we'll walk our way through it here and take our time as we start with, first off, you're a basketball guy. A lot of people that know your name, especially around the state of Georgia, know that you played at McEachern under Mike Thompson with a lot of star players on those really stacked teams.
Definitely.
Coming up as a basketball guy, how would you describe your story and your journey there coming up at McEachern?
I'd say definitely a unique one, even before I was at McEachern, being at North Cobb Christian and then being at Harrison. So switching from school to school, playing basketball with those top guys. And then ultimately ending up where I am now is definitely a unique story, I would say. Definitely, I don't, you get a lot of those guys. I think Antonio Gates, I want to say, or some other guys, the NFL guys that played basketball in high school or didn't start playing until really, really late playing football, but they did it. So I think it's kind of similar to those, but even with COVID, I think mine's a pretty unique story, I'd say.
For sure. Well, coming up, you're playing basketball. Now you've switched to being a football player. You mentioned guys like Gates and players that have done it in the past. So for you, first off, what motivated you to switch over to the football side?
Well, I have to say, really just my natural ability to go over there, just being on the field. I think I always knew that I was better at football, but, just I had a love and a passion for basketball that I just didn't want to quit at. I don't quit at things very easily. And I think that switching over to football was really just because I would still watch it and I would still go do workouts. And I had my close friend, Chief Borders, down in Florida. I would work out with him often. And, he kind of was just like, hey, man, you really need to get out here and play, man. We really need to, you need to it's not too late. And I'd be like, it's not too late. Like, I don't know about that. And, he got me out there and we were working out and coaches started seeing me. And then I got called to go do private workouts with these colleges. And then it just kind of took off from there.
For sure. Now, when did you officially decide, okay, what was the moment for you when you said, let's give football a shot?
I would say it was a 7-on-7 game, and I kind of went out there and I was doing my thing. This was the time before. And then I was working out with Chief, and I remember I was talking on the phone. It was the coach at, I want to say, I think it was Mills had called Coach Sumlin, I think. I think he called Coach Sumlin, and he saw me working out, and he was like, man, you really got a serious talent at this thing. You could really, you got the measurables, you got the ability to do it. All you need to do is just put your nose down and work and learn the game. But you've got the measurables, you got the ability, you got all the intangibles to do it. And I think then I was like, okay, well, this is a high-level coach, high-level guy. He's got, some serious respect on, in the game. So I just, that I think at that point, that's when I kind of realized that I could really do it, with this football thing and this, achieve this crazy sort of a thing that's going on. So.
Definitely. Now, to put a timeline on it, about when did you hear that from Coach Sumlin?
I want to say probably maybe like 3-4 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, something, not too long ago, really soon, actually.
Okay, was that at Villarica at the Hot List Camp, or
yeah? I think it was. I think it was a little. Yeah, I think it was a little bit
Nice.
after I ended up talking to him on the phone, like personally. I talked to him at the camp, but Yeah, like when I had that conversation with him, I think so. Probably like yeah, about 3 weeks ago, I think.
Wow, okay, so very recent.
Yeah.
I know on the basketball side, you had some college potential. You were going through a bit of a recruiting process there. So, first off, for basketball, take us through kind of some of the opportunities you had there that you could have pursued on that side.
I think in basketball, I had a pretty good opportunity. I was talking to Iowa State frequently. Coach Robertson up there at Iowa State was talking to me a lot. I was talking to Maryville. I was talking to San Angelo State, some HBCUs. Yeah, basically some schools like that. But I was really chasing that. I really wanted to go to Iowa State, and what ended up happening is the transfer portal kid came in, and I guess they got extra. They got an extra year, so their gap for scholarship offers was decreased. Which for my position, they didn't have any more spots. So I just it ultimately just turned into one of those things, and then that's when yeah.
I see. Okay. And now transitioning over to the football side, you've made this flip here. In terms of your overall high school, are you a class of 21 guy, or how does the class work for you in terms of graduation?
Well, I have graduated. I've graduated. I got my
Gotcha.
point right there. I've graduated.
Sweet.
I'll be attending a prep school, either Georgia Knights or I'll be going to Champion Prep or Midwest Prep this coming fall. So I will technically go with the class of 2022. I will be, I will enter college with the 2022, but I'll probably enroll early in that January. I'll probably end up at the college in January.
Yeah, and that's a interesting thing when you look at the classes, the prep school. So,
Hmm.
for you overall, in terms of film on the football field, I know you played a little bit when you're younger,
Hmm.
but now going through, you've got Coach Sumlin loving you at camps,
Hmm.
and some coaches saying, okay, your athletic ability, the measurables that you can post and send out to coaches
Hmm.
are really solid. So now it's about getting the film for you.
Hmm.
Going the prep school route, what's the mentality, what's the idea coming in for you?
Well, I think definitely for me is just getting better every day, just working, learning, and being real coachable because in this game, just learning what you need to do and how to basically break down all the things that you think that you might not know because basketball for last 4 years I'm learning certain things like even when you slide like click your feet sometimes or have your hands out like this. Football, everything is real. In here, it's real. High pop things and my hips. Just learning little things. So mentality, I would say, going is just get great film, go 100%, and just learn all that I can for that next level. You know?
What's impressive to me is that you're able to flip now into being the type of athlete that can go and play football and not just get interest from smaller schools or coaches that a lot of people maybe haven't heard
Mhm.
of. You've been taking a lot of visits lately, talking to coaches, going into this prep season. Can you take us through where you are right now in terms of the visits and the places you've toured this summer and then where you'll be heading next?
Okay. So far we have I visited University of Georgia. University of Georgia was a great school. I visited Georgia Tech. I recently just posted the photos at the Georgia Tech. It was a great school. I definitely like them a lot. I'll be headed to Alabama next, I believe. I have a private workout at UGA tomorrow. Um, Florida. Be down there with my boy Chief pretty soon, and my guy, my QB1 down there. He's down there too. Um, yes, I'll be yeah. So Florida too down there with my boy Jalen and Chief. So I'll be down there, and I think we're going to Clemson. I'll be up there with Clemson with Chief's dad Mills with Baller's Choice. I'll be up there. So those are my right now. Those are my top schools that I'm really looking at that he's really wanting me at.
Yeah, and then when you talk to these coaches, how are the conversations going in terms of what they're telling you they like about your game and How does that all go?
I mean, I would say it's been going pretty great. You know, Georgia Tech, I got to get the private workout up there and talk to him firsthand. Coach Stack, the defensive coordinator, outside linebacker coach, great guy, great, great family environment over there. They're loving me. He's just telling me, biggest thing for me is, working with those football trainer and learning, the movements and just getting those football type technique things down because I got the natural athleticism to do it, but just breaking down those movements the right way and just making sure I can hit those, do the right correct things, while I'm on the field and just learning the game, learning coverages, like learning angles and just things like that. So
Okay, and then going to prep school, I think a lot of people maybe don't know about that process or don't know that you can go to prep school and then be a Power 5 Division 1 type of guy. So take us through knowing what you know about prep school, about to head into that process. What's it like? How does all of that work in terms of eligibility, in terms of the season? How does that work from what you know?
So basically, you get like a fifth year senior sort of a deal. I don't know if you know, you probably know basketball in a basketball term because that's kind of what I was more familiar with. Is like if my boy Allen Breed went to IMG fifth year, and he did his thing, and then he ended up going to Providence. It's same sort of a deal. You get your 4 years eligibility, but you just get one extra year in between colleges to just kind of go and like either some kids would use it as a ability to like bulk up, or they would use it as a learning experience. Or some colleges would be like, we like him, we want to offer him, but he needs one more year of development before we get him. So just and with me kind of not playing any high school football at all, and these coaches really liking me, they can love me as much as they want, but as a high major program, you want to put a kid, you want to make sure that he gets that extra development and learns the game a little bit more. So me going into prep will definitely be, the best option. So I go there and I get that, that little bit of coaching and that me getting the feel for it in pads and then being ready when I go up there. So I have some sort of an idea how it works instead of just going straight from, the court to the field and high major, SEC school, just off rip.
I see. Now, for you, in terms of your development, how would you break down what's next for you in developing into the player that you're aspiring to be here as a Power 5 potential guy?
I would say that I definitely need to, just work, just learning the game. I would say like learning the game, learning coverages, learning my job. I'll be playing outside linebacker, so just learning, just listening and just learning from these guys that really know what they're talking about. Because I ask a lot of questions because I don't believe in just being quiet, just sitting there watching. I want to ask a lot of questions because I really won't know. And yeah, I think my biggest thing is just listening, just learning, just talking to these guys, and just you know, yeah. So I'm really excited about it.
I've seen you projected as a defensive guy. So where do you think you fit in terms of position? Have you found a spot yet
Yeah,
that you like?
I definitely say I like outside linebacker. When I played before, I was a D tackle, OLB, and I was top ranked in Georgia when I was in middle school, like eighth grade. I know that's a long time ago, but I was a top ranked guy, and even now, I think just playing at that OLB spot, it feels real natural. Like it's just kind of like you got off the bike for a while, but once you get back on long enough, it starts. It's like muscle memory. You know what I mean? So things are starting to fall back into place. I'm starting to get the hang of it again.
Well, athletically, we've mentioned the numbers and the measurables that you put up. When you talk to coaches, is there anything that they say stands out as eye-popping or something they really like about you on the athletic
I
side?
definitely say my wingspan, my 40-yard dash, and my vertical. They are definitely intrigued by those things, and I think because at that speed, at the speed I have off the edge or outside linebacker, at my height and weight is not normal. So I think they're definitely intrigued by that.
For sure. Now, when you go into now the prep school year, how do you decide of what prep school you want to go to? How does that work from your
Well,
situation?
you go talk to these coaches and you find out, which ones have a family environment, which ones are really invested into teaching me the things that I don't know because, like I said, I have a lot to learn about this stuff. So, just which schools are willing to really kind of be invested into me and seeing my process and seeing where I'm at, because I know these schools know I have the talent, they know I have the ability and the size, but they want to just I just want to make sure that I'm at a school that is gonna push me the way I want to go and is gonna like be invested into me.
Got you. Okay. And then in terms of now on the basketball side, I'm curious, having played at McEacher and playing with some top talent, a couple of guys that are going on to play Power 5 level. First off, I'd love to hear what it was like for you playing with Cam McDowell,
Yeah.
who's now going to UGA. Your thoughts on playing with him as one of your guys I know you're good friends with.
Cam, man, he's a special talent. Cam is one of those guys who's he's an unorthodox way about himself, but that dude is it was real great playing with him. The energy level is always gonna be there, man. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy to have on your team. He's a great friend. Um, he's just one of those guys. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment with Cam. I often say he was a wild card. I remember when I first got there and even coming into the gym and when I'm playing, I'm at practice. There's no friends at practice. We're all going at each other. We're all competing. If you really want to get people better, you want to go at them. You want to compete with them. And he was right there and he did that. That thing. He never lacked energy from the first game we played together to the last game we played together. He kept that energy and he went all in, man. That dude is he's a slept on talent. He's an underrated talent. That dude is gonna be he's gonna be one of the greatest to come about of Georgia, I think, at that position. He's a great that dude. There's stuff I've seen him do that I haven't seen people do on the court before. Just the size, his handle, his biggest thing is just making sure he's not too down on himself and staying focused, making sure he's in his right mental space. But there's nothing he can't do on that court.
For sure. And then another guy you played with, Chance Moore, he'll be going on to
Definitely.
play SEC ball. What was it like? I mean, it was such a stacked team at McEacher in this past year, but
Chance
with
is
Chance, what do you see
probably
out of
the
him?
best offensive player I've ever played with. Chance is, and I've played with Sharif Cooper.
Wow.
I played with Sharif Cooper. I played with these guys. Sharif, he was a great player. Nothing taken away from him. But Chance is I got to play a little bit more with him. So I would say Chance is he's one of those guys that's just like the game is. He was made to play. He was made to play basketball. He's a basketball guy. He's got that confidence about himself. He's got the way he moves, the way he walks, the way he talks. His whole MO is basketball. It's in his DNA. It's in his blood. You need a bucket, get Chance the ball. He's gonna get the bucket. Chance is a bucket. Just bottom line. Um, I think he's gonna go into the SEC and he's gonna shock some dudes. Biggest thing, making sure that he stays hungry, he stays driven, he stays wanting it. Because when he wants to win, when he wants to do something out there, man, I don't think that there's anyone who could stop him. Anyone who can get in his way. That dude is he's serious. He's a serious scorer, and they'll see. People will see how serious Chance Moore is.
Nice. Okay, well, now I'm curious back to your story now. Over the past few weeks, developing into this football player is interesting as the story is, as unique as it is. Can you pinpoint any moment or some moments where some coach or somebody has said something to you and it's really clicked in terms of your on-field development, having to kind of put things together here for this, showcasing for these coaches? Any cool notes or things that they've said that have really
I
clicked?
remember being at that Georgia camp, at that UGA camp, and working out, and I remember Coach Lanning. Coach Lang, outside linebacker coach, he's saying you'll go as far as you decide. As you decide to go. You'll go as far as you decide to go. And I was like, understand like, what is well, I want to go all the way. You know what I mean? That's how I'm thinking. But I'm like, kind of can you break down what that? He goes, what I mean by that is you've got all the ability to do it. You got the athleticism, you got the talent. You'll go as far as you decide to go if you put the work in. He was just talking about, he said, great players. Um, you get those guys, everyone in the league has talent. Everyone in the league has the ability, everyone has the measurables. But what makes the difference between those players and the great ones is the work ethic, what they put into it, the type of drive and the type of emotion and passion they put into that game. And so when he told me that, it seemed like all the little stuff that he would tell me to improve, my game and my feet and my hips and, even talking to some of the players up there, all of it started to make a little bit more sense when he said that. So I think that moment definitely, him saying that definitely made it a little switch off in my head.
When you came in, were you like fully confident that you could do it, or did it take some time to work into it?
I think when I first came in, I always knew I was a football player. So I never had that doubt that I couldn't go do it. I never had that doubt that I couldn't go do it. It was more how was I gonna do it? But it's one of those things, I'm a strong believer in Christ, and I feel like it's one of those things that God opened the door for me, and He never really shut that door. And clearly, even now, starting as late as I did, it's just kind of been, the doors have been a lot. It's just been a lot. I remember basketball, everything was just a whole lot. I had to jump through a lot of hoops and do a lot of things to get to where I was at. I put a lot of grind time in where, I would be like, well, where are the results? And, it's kind of seemed like they're showing up now in a different sport. All the work that I'm putting in, I just got a fast track to visits to these high major schools, and, that I didn't
Gotcha.
get in basketball.
Now I'm curious a little bit of who you are off the field now. So, in terms of what you like to do outside of football, outside of sports, what are your hobbies? What do you enjoy?
I like to, spend time with my little sisters. I got two little sisters, Paige and Paisley. One just turned 17 recently on June 2nd. My mom's birthday was recently on June 5th. I have a baby sister. She is 9. She will be 10 on July 11th. So I spend a lot of time with them, so those they're crazy. But I spend a lot of time with them. I like to hang out with my friends. I like to hoop. I like to play basketball. Definitely with the guys still. Um, I don't play video games too much. I wasn't really a video game kid. I was more of an outside kid. I might play the Wii. I played the Wii when I was a lot younger, like a lot younger. I whoop up on anybody at Mario Kart, but I'd say, yeah, just kind of, I'm a real family guy. So I hang around, family a lot. I like clothes and I like shoes. So I like, fashion and stuff. So I like to go and like look at clothes and like look at fashion and things like that, or drive around Atlanta, just look at the buildings and just, things like that. So
Okay, and then fashion wise, how would you describe your style?
I say I have like a grown style. I don't think I dress like regular streetwear type of kids. I think I dress a little bit more formal. I got a little bit more of a bougie style. I got a certain
Okay.
I got a certain way that I dress. I think that like they would say old head kind of, you know.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I just, I grew up around a lot of older people. And so but I have I got like a new, way. I'm a new school kid, but it's like an old school mix. So it's like a new slash old school type of vibe, about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, in a way, you can see it in the way I dress sometimes when I really put it on. You can tell.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Bobby, that's all the questions I had for you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for having me.